statues. People were just taking left and right from it. And construction crews left it as a shell of its former self. In fact, St. Peter's and St. John's cathedrals were built from parts from the Colosseum. We're gonna just it's not being used. Let's just
Part it out.
Let's take it and use it to build other things that we can.
Some of those
use.
columns.
Those marble columns. So in its state of disrepair, it was also used as a fortress of sorts for the Frangipane and Archibaldi. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Really?
What?
No, I don't know either, but just the way you're trying to say it.
It's either Archibaldi or Archibaldi families who built their houses and stuff inside.
Yeah. Inside?
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
I mean, it wasn't being used.
You can't do that.
You can't do that, Don. You're dancing on the graves of burned individuals in their houses.
They don't rule the world.
Neither do you. And you're still...
In our little exercise, I was.
That's true, I guess. So, anyway...
I'm living on that high hog.
So then we also have the Visigoths coming in and taking names. And they're using it for cemeteries. Waste buildup. I mean, it is getting heavily abused at this point.
Yeah.
In the 15th and 16th century, the Colosseum is partly owned by the church, and it is seen as an important structure due to its atrocities of the Romans made to the Christian martyrs. So they're kind of looking at it as kind of there's a word
Like
for
landmark status.
Maybe that's what I'm term looking for. I'm not sure.
Probably.
So anyway, because of the significance, the church is now trying to protect it from further destruction.
Right.
But that's kind of
Be like, hey, stop pooping in here.
Stop pooping in here. That's an act. That was my next quote. The Pope said, "Stop pooping in here."
You sure it wasn't stop poping in here?
Oh, I'm not
He was
sure.
misquoted.
Stop
So-
poping.
It's the 1700s.
need to go.
Pope Benedict the 14th declared it as an actual church of sorts, which would prohibit people from taking stones, and using it for other things and trying to hurt it more. Like this is kind of like
These are holy
more official
stones.
thing. Yeah, more of a holy site. And researchers say that's actually a good thing because if that hadn't been done, it
would just
might be gone.
It would just be all poop.
Because we're talking about some significant building at this point.
Just be a pit of feces.
That's right. That's right.
The 7 wonders of the world. The pit of feces.
Actually, the Colosseum is one of the new wonders
Yeah.
of the world. So, not the modern wonders, but the new wonders.
Right.
So, since then, it actually changed hands from a lot of people. Major restorations and fortifications were undergone, and in 1871, archaeologist Pietro Rosa had all post-Roman additions removed, getting us as close to its original state as we can get. So anything that was not part of the original concept, get out of here, doesn't belong here.
Right.
Let's just make it the original glory that it once was, as much as it can be.
Right.
So in 1990, I know that's a big jump, but because throughout time they would do whatever they can. But 1990, major restorations began again. So quite recently, and in the 2000s, the stands were rebuilt with some seating, and there actually some shows are still put on. In fact, from an article that I read, Ray Charles has performed there. Elton John performed there. Billy Joel has performed in the Coliseum.
Nice.
So you actually is stuff that goes on there. So
Yeah.
that's
Do they have actual bathrooms? Or are they just holes?
they
in a room?
I don't know.
I'm guessing there's a lot of porta potties. but that's
There might be a
just-
lot of
Yeah, there might be.
I'll get back to you in September and let you know.
Yeah, Jeff's gonna go see it. It's gonna be awesome.
that's all right.
You're making a point to go see that, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
We may be limited on that just because it's not easily accessible.
but it's
my wife's
so.
knees
At least
may
take a
not-
look at it.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. Wow.
My
I would love
goal is
go
to
see
get
it.
inside.
Yeah. So a couple of quick things I wanted to point out that emperors were usually in attendance for the games, even those who weren't super into it, like Marcus Aurelius, the emperor. He was quite known to be against like gladiatorial combat. They go, this is for animals. We're above this, But he still went. It was his job. He was the emperor. He had to go where the people were having their entertainment. Emperor Commodus, another famous one, he actually performed or participated hundreds of times. He was not above just getting in there and getting his hands dirty, which is kind of awesome. And in the movies and stuff, you'll see like these guys who are like the finishers. Like if some guys like got sliced in the stomach and he was on the ground and it's done. Mm-hmm. This guy, there was a guy who would come in and just finish him off. Wasn't his job. And from the whole thing, yeah. But usually, from what I read in an article, the thumbs down was the kill. No, it's usually to the guy, thumbs up, kill him. It's actually thumbs
ahead.
up. Do
it's
it.
Like, yeah, let's keep him around.
Yeah, 'cause he's not pointing to the guy who's on the floor bleeding out of his mouth. It's like, hey, can you see this? It's thumbs down. No, it's thumbs up. Do it.
No.
Get it done. So
Or I wish they would have pointed at him and went, I guess they're
Finish him.
yeah, but yeah, go see it today. 4.2 million visitors a year, and actually, from what I understand, a pretty hot spot for botanists.
Ooh.
A lot of plant life growing in there over time.
It's all that feces made a nutrient soil.
That might be.
It's
all
good fertilizer.
those corn nuts fertilizing that stuff, So, yeah, that's the Coliseum.
It is.
Yes, sir.
Oh, is it me?
By the way, really quickly, I looked up Nero fiddling why Rome burned. A couple things. One, there were no fiddles invented at that time. And it has more to do with the fact that he was pretty indifferent. He was badly, badly hated, as I'm sure you came across. That people absolutely... But there was an instrument called the Siathra that he might have played. But they just considered him pretty much indifferent.
He just they just meant that he was
welfare.
just doing his own thing, right? No matter what was going on.
He was like 35 miles away at the time of the fire. He came there because obviously he had to come and claim his land. I'll take all that.
Well, here's the thing. A couple things I forgot to mention. That first of all, there is speculation and not rumors, but there are things that suggest that maybe he started the fire. Hero
yeah, there's a lot of rumors.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Rome was always burning while he was fiddling. Yeah. So
and then he had that alibi that he was 35 miles away.
Yeah, I mean, so the people do think that it's possible that he started the fire himself just so he can have this thing. And then secondly, I don't know the second thing. I don't know why, but so
Okay.
if I think about it, I'll interrupt you.
Look forward
You
to
do that.
I will.
I have a quiz.
Okay.
Wait.
It's a hybrid quiz. So, in each of the questions, there is an animal somewhere in the answer, but I'm giving 2 clues. So I'm looking for... It's like, to make it easier, it's like a thing. So I'll give you an example with an easy question for number 1, right? So, the city of brotherly love, national bird of the U.S.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Correct. So it's something like that. It's team, it's a product, like name, animal. 2 things. Got it? All right, number 2. So this is a company. This extinct company's logo was a rear view of the Mayflower ship. And your second clue is a speedy, slender sea creature that is known for very aggressive behavior. They have 2 sets of razor-like teeth that allow them to eat smaller fish and chop larger ones right in half.
Charpin.
I sawed this boat in half.
Flex Seal.
So, company's logo. Company is dead.
Are any of these going to be one word?
No.
They're all going to be 2 words? Okay.
Something
Yes.
barracuda.
I thought maybe an eel because he said slender. Did you say long and slender or just slender?
Speedy, slender sea creature.
Okay, that's they have to be an eel then.
Barracuda's not a bad guess. Except I wouldn't call it. Well, I guess it is a creature. But I was thinking something much more wicked.
Ooh,
In the rear view of the Mayflower.
Yep. It's a company that went out of business years ago.
Now, I know in the Nickelodeon days there were blue barracudas. Is that right?
No.
The Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I would say if you don't have it by now, you're probably not going to get it. You maybe don't know that this is a thing.
Yeah, the orange iguanas. Purple parrots. Think about
No.
It is the Plymouth Barracuda.
I was right, barracuda.
Is that a car?
Oh,
Yes. It was.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Who knew?
Hemicuda.
Hemicuda?
The ones that had Hemis in them. Yeah, that's what they...
Well, that's convenient.
But yeah, Plymouth had that. Obviously, the Mayflower ship, Plymouth.
Fair.
But yeah.
Fair.
Okay. Number 3. This place was named for King Louis IX when it was founded in 1764 as a French fur trading village. And it was by a gentleman named Pierre something French.
Accurate.
Second part of the clue is Pope Francis's right-hand men.
The Popenites.
Popettes.
Swiss Guard.
No, the first one can't be right. What are we looking for here? What is the object? Or
I guess I'll tell you, it's a team.
Oh,
so I don't think it's going to be guard.
is it the
How about
New Orleans
knights?
Saints? Orleans Saints.
Louisville Sluggers.
No, that's a good guess though. The answer is better though.
French.
The Pope's right-hand men and King Louis founded this. It's in the U.S. I'll give you that hint. It was
King Louis founded something in the U.S.
It was named after King Louis, is what I was going to say.
St. Louis Blues. Cardinals.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Cardinals, you know?
Cardinals. That's so good.
I like
so good.
Popenites.
Hey, you guys got there.
Yeah.
All right.
You enjoy Popenites. That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know what a Popenite is. I think you've been drinking that tequila again. All right, number 4. So part of the reason for this is another city one. Part of the reason for this city's nickname, it was home to the first mile of concrete highway, the first 4-way 3-color traffic light, and the world's first urban freeway. It is also the only major city in the U.S. that some Canadians would have to drive north to get to. Some species of this animal are so large, weighing up to 660 pounds, they are considered to be the third largest carnivores on land, behind polar and brown bears.
Detroit Lions.
So close.
Detroit Tigers.
Tigers are bigger than lions. Yep.
Detroit Tigers.
That's tricky. Oh, and I was going to mention, I forgot to read the last part of the question because you answered so early. They actually feast on elephant calves. So they eat deer, boar, and sometimes elephant calves. That's a big meal.
It's a hearty meal. Oh, dang it. I was going to say hearty.
Hardy's better. All right. This is a company product. Before entering the U.S. auto market, that would have been apparent if I would have just read the start of the question. Before entering the U.S. auto market, this family started out making bicycles in Canada in 1896, then stoves in 1900, before manufacturing some parts for the first mass-produced automobile. They launched their own brand of automobile finally in 1914. And then the second part, these hollow-toothed creatures come in varieties such as pit, bush, horned, and gaboon. Rachel thinks gaboon is a funny word.
Do the animal one again.
These hollow-toothed creatures come in varieties such as pit, bush, horned, and gaboon.
Is there a,
There goes
is there
Rachel.
a Viper team that I'm not thinking of?
Nothing comes to mind.
The first part of the question is an auto market. So it's an auto company that I'm looking for.
Oh, Dodge Viper.
Car people are screaming
Dodge
right
Viper.
now.
I'm
yes,
sorry.
there you go.
I forgot that for some reason I thought you were doing only teams.
No. That's why.
I know. That's why I was so stuck. I'm like,
Right.
what team? Like I was thinking like Pontiac, like things that could have something to do with geography.
Right.
Like geography. I'm like,
No, you got
okay,
it though.
like,
Just
I'm with you.
took a painfully long time.
I'm sorry.
All right. No. This is harder than I expected it to be.
I just
actually.
had the wrong mindset.
Yeah. Number 6. This capital city is the 7th largest city in North America, home to CN Tower, Casa Loma, and the Hockey Hall of Fame. And this national animal of Prince Edward Island. And despite this creature's name, it is actually brown in color, but the unique structure of its feathers causes light to reflect and change its appearance completely, making it vibrant.
Well, the only thing that came to me as Toronto was Raptors right away, but maybe Blue Jays.
Toronto Blue Jays. Number 7. Performance model that came out in 1953. GM's first full-scale concept car was advertised as a dream car when it rolled onto the floor at New York's Waldorf Astoria Hotel, January 17th of 53. Plus, this creature, closely related to a shark, typically has a venomous spine on its tail. Fossils of this creature have been discovered dating all the way back to the lower Jurassic period, about 150 million years ago.
Rays.
Stingray.